injure them, you gotta treat them. So just kill them. Kill them. You injure them, you gotta treat them. Kill them, you're done with them.
The decision to join the military is obviously a life-changing one. We sat down with 4 members of the Furman program to find out their rationale behind joining ROTC.
I joined ROTC because I have a long line of military history in my family. I've always wanted to be in the military. And after high school, or during high school, I was looking at enlisting. And then found the opportunity to actually get college paid for. So I'm pretty much coming to Furman, full scholarship. They're paying me to be at school here. So it's seemed like a good opportunity, and I get to be a second lieutenant when I graduate.
I was already going to join the military. I've never thought of any other job that I ever wanted, really. Me and my best friend, ever since we were little, that's all we ever talked about.
I had a little family background in the military. My mom's dad served in the Navy. He was a career veteran. He went to the Naval Academy, served, I guess, 20-some years, went to Vietnam twice. He was an engineer aboard an aircraft carrier. And my dad's dad was a World War II vet, served in the Battle of the Bulge. And I think that kind of initially started my interest in joining the military. As a kid, I just remember I always had the G.I. Joes, always played with my friends, you know, Army, that kind of stuff. And I think just from then on, I've always kind of known that's a path I could take. And I guess around high school, I really realized that's something that I really want to do. I really wanted to serve the country.
I decided to join ROTC because it helps pay for college. That's one of the main reasons. And my mom is retired military, so it's always been a choice that is in the back of my mind.
ROTC is physically strenuous, but it also puts a strain on one's schedule. We wanted to know how they balanced college and ROTC.
ROTC has pretty much been my college life.
There are times when I feel like a lot of people don't understand what it's like to be an ROTC and a student at the same time. When we came back from Fort Jackson, actually, a lot of people asked me, like, so how was it? Like, did you have fun? What'd you guys do? And it's really different, or it's difficult to explain to them, oh, well, we went patrolling or we ran missions, and they'll ask you what that is, and you tell them, and they get like, oh, well, I have to go do something. It's like they don't want to hear it, or they can't relate to it, so it's a lot harder to get other people to understand.
Acquire the bottom target on your firing point. Fire at will. Fire! Fires. To your front, you will see 2 targets. Only one of those is yours.
If I can put it that way, it's definitely taken up a lot of time, and it's good that I've enjoyed what I'm doing.
It's tough. I'm just a sophomore, so last year was really hard. My high school practices were way different than what they are in college now. I think just adjusting to college would have been hard enough, especially at Furman, and then adding ROTC, it was intense.
I feel like I'm getting a different college experience in a way that, like, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to PT, whereas people are waking up at 10:30 and complaining, oh, well, I just woke up and I had such a late night. Like, I have a much structured college life. I know I have to be in bed by such and such time if I want to function in the morning.
Maybe should we move? Oh, that was cool.
It's a big time commitment with PT in the morning, and that itself is a time commitment. It kind of, you know, takes away from all the sleep you get, so you stay up all night studying and get up early, so that kind of affects you during your day, having to deal with that.
And so it really kills my mornings.
You gotta I guess, manage your free time with the ROTC time. It's definitely made it harder to, I guess, see friends and family a lot because of the time that's required by ROTC.
Cadets at Furman, cadre, I'd say those are my closest friends out at Furman. We spend so much time together, and I think the one thing that really builds our relationships is that we spend a lot of time going through hard PTs, a lot of time spent in labs, just doing, kind of overcoming some obstacles. I think that really builds a lot of camaraderie.
The adjustment to being an ROTC member, as well as a college student, can be physically and emotionally draining. Some people have doubts about their future in the program.
It's definitely a topic that I talk a lot with my mom about, and she feels like we've actually talked about like transferring, and sorry, just because like there are times when it gets really hard and I feel like I can't do it.
The mission of ROTC is to produce leaders of character ready to contribute to the U.S. Army through recruiting, developing, evaluating, and retaining top quality cadets. So we asked them what the most valuable thing they've learned was.
ROTC has definitely taught me to be responsible for my own actions. In ROTC, you're given certain tasks, you're given certain jobs, and if you don't get them done, then it's on you. And in the military, you get yelled at for things you do wrong.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, don't move it!
It's taught me a lot about people. ROTC is such a massive undertaking. It tells you a lot about a person, how much they are ready on a constant basis. People who make excuses, people who are lazy, it shows. And it doesn't take long to realize what people are made of.
Armed with this critical information, the future holds a lot for these brave men and women.
Just knowing that I'll be in the real world, real Army soon. I'm a 22-year-old lieutenant, and I'll be working with a platoon sergeant and enlisted soldiers that have probably had several deployments under their belts.
You learn how to manage situations as a leader. So you learn how to figure out what people's strengths are and use those strengths to get whatever your goal is done. I think that's a big thing. It's just you figure out how to interact with other people and you learn how to lead other people. And that's I think the biggest thing that the military teaches, especially ROTC cadets and officers, is that that's our role once we graduate. Is we're given at least 30 or 40 soldiers and we have to get in front of them and know exactly what you're doing. And you can't mess up because that could eventually cost someone's life.